Welcome to Retro Reloaded, where we revisit games from the past and see how they hold up today and decide whether they're still worth reloading. I'm Lance, and today we're diving into the history, story, gameplay, highs, lows, and lasting legacy of this week's pick. Join the Discord to share your thoughts, suggest future games, and be a part of the community. Now let's press start and reload the episode. Alright, with all that out of the way, we got our very first impressions episode. Now, this is going to be a little bit different than the normal Retro Reloaded, should we reload the game type of episode. This is going to be my first impressions playing a game. And I just want to be clear that just because an episode is not labeled first impressions doesn't mean it's not my first time playing a game. The reason that this is different is that there are some games that take a long time to complete, and it's just like, working full-time job, doing this and that, having all these errands. It's really hard to complete some of these games on time, even a game that is not super long. Like, I don't think this game is like a super long game, but it's long enough to like where I'm not going to have enough time in a week to complete it. So I'm doing these first impressions episodes. Other good examples of this was like Tales of Symphonia was a good one that I could have done first impressions on. Maybe I'll do that later on and go complete the game. Another one was Legend of Dragoon was a good example. So I'm kind of excited to do this format more because I think it will allow us to give a game a really fair shake, because in some cases there's some games that just it's the infamous kind of like a game doesn't get good until 15 hours in. It's like, okay, well, I guess I got to play 15 hours to give it a good shake and a wiggle. But excuse me, with all that out of the way, we have our guest today. It's Mr. Dan. Dan, welcome back to the show.
Pleasure to be back, sir.
Yeah. So Dan, do you want to tell people what you do? I know you've been on here before, but maybe for the new listeners.
Yeah, I'm happy to be a reoccurring guest. But I make individually wrapped isopropyl alcohol wipes specifically made for cleaning game controllers, and you can find those at controllerwipes.com. I believe I have an affiliate program still set up with Lance that I can reactivate after this episode quick. What was the code again? Was it Reloaded?
Yeah, it was Reloaded 10.
Reloaded 10 for 10% off your order, and it helps out the show, and it obviously helps out me, but also helps out Lance as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, it helps out Retro Reloaded, it helps out Dan. It's a win-win. And honestly, Dan sent me a box, and those wipes are great. They're really good for controllers. I found it to be just like, like that kind of new feeling you get when you pick it out of the box. That's kind of what I felt. I'm like, you try like to wipe down a controller with something that's like, I don't know, maybe it's too strong, or like it leaves it kind of sticky, or like it just doesn't do the job right. Dan's controller wipes do. They do the job right. So for sure, it's a good product.
Well, I appreciate the endorsement.
Yeah, absolutely. So today we're covering Phantom Hourglass, Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. This game is different than any other Zelda game I've ever played, and I have opinions on this. I don't want to get too much into it yet, but it is very different. Do you want to kind of go over your experience with this game, Dan, and like maybe when you first played it?
Yeah, sure. So I admit I haven't touched this game in like almost a solid 10 years. I played it when I was like a younger teenager. I was like 14 or 15, and I just played Wind Waker for the first time back when I was like 12, so I was really excited to play the sequel. And it is nothing like Wind Waker except for its sense of humor. I think my favorite thing about this game is just the fact that it actually respects the ending of Wind Waker. Spoilers for like a 25-year-old Zelda game at this point that's not Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah.
The end of Wind Waker, you break the cycle of Hyrule. Like it ends that whole demise reincarnation timeline thing. So Phantom Hourglass has no Hyrule, no Ganondorf, technically no Zelda. It's Tetra's back into like her pirate thing. There's no remnants of Hyrule whatsoever, except for the fact that Link is still green. That's the whole thing. Everything else is original, and I really kind of dig that because as much as I love Ganondorf as a villain, I feel like we just rinse and repeat him. He's like Bowser at this point.
Yeah, totally.
But
Um,
I did bounce off it. It took me a long time to get all the way through it because it's got a great sense of humor. And I love the story, but man, is the gameplay just not what I want out of a Zelda franchise game.
yeah. So let's go over that a little bit. So why is it different than other Zelda games? Like it's when you say it's not exactly what you wanted out of a Zelda game, what do you mean by that?
I mean, I don't think there's a game except for Nintendo Dogs that screams, quote unquote, I'm a DS game in 2006 or 7, whenever this came out. Like the
Yeah.
whole game's played with the touchpad, and it's just got a very unique control scheme. It's always the puzzles are very much like not traditional puzzles. They're more like note taking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
just brute memorization.
Yes. So I kind of want to start with the controls. The controls shocked me quite a bit when I first picked this game up. It is my first time playing it, obviously, hence the first impressions label. And I was ready for the traditional, like, top down Zelda experience where you're using the D pad or the joystick to kind of like move around. And then you slash with like, your A button or whatever, or B button, it doesn't matter. And, that was what it was I was expecting from the game. But you actually use the stylus to move Link around. So, like, you move the stylus in the direction you want Link to run. And I first thing I did was go into the settings to see if I could change this, but this is not changeable. This is not this is non-negotiable. Um, it
Out of curiosity, did you play on original hardware or were you emulating this?
I emulated it, but I did it on the phone with the stylus, so it's pretty accurate, I would say, to what the DS might have felt like. And
Okay, okay. I get wasn't trying to like
huh?
pass judgment or anything. It's just it's such a unique control scheme, and it's
Yeah.
again it screams, "Hi, I'm a DS games." You're sitting there with your little it's an adult with your little 3-inch plastic stick touching a resistive touch screen.
Yeah. I have a stylus and everything. I tried playing I tried playing this game with my finger. That does not work. Okay? It is way too like you have to be very precise in certain locations and it wasn't working. So I have styluses and I got it to work and it yeah, so my first like when I first started moving around, I was upset by it. Like it wasn't fun and I was like there's no way I'm going to have to play this whole game like that. But sure enough, you play most of the game like that and just for reference, I've gotten to um the past the Wind Temple and past the next one after that. There's a temple after that and it was I don't even know what it was, like a desert temple or something? I don't really know.
To
But
be honest, man, they all blend together. The only one that really sticks out in my memory still is the really big one that you go back
yeah.
to.
And so yeah, I'm playing it and I think I could not get into it. It was like it was just annoying me, like, off the bat, and you attack with the style so you, like, click on the enemy with the stylus to attack them, and you, like, spin in a circle with the stylus to do your spin attack, and you do everything with the stylus, pretty much. I mean, you can use the D-pad for things like, bringing up the menu and stuff, but pretty much everything is the stylus. How did you feel about this when you first played it?
I I was not a fan. Like I said, I mean, I enjoy it for the story, but like the control scheme dictates the pace of most of the game. Like because of the fact that the controls are so simplified, the gameplay has to be simplified with it. So it didn't have that like old school Zelda challenge that you would expect with a top-down 2D Zelda game.
Yeah.
Like whatsoever. It was very much like made for a more casual audience, and I miss when Nintendo would do off the wall stuff like that, but that doesn't mean I love it when like every time they did it.
Right. Yeah, so they do like to shake it up in the Zelda world. It's like the next game has to be so different from the last game. And that with Breath of the Wild and then this game and then like Zelda 2, they did that as well. So there's like there's some games that have similarities. For example, like Link to the Past and Oracle of Seasons and Ages. Those are very similar games. And then you have like Twilight Princess and Ocarina and Majora's. Those are kind of similar games, but they do like to switch it up sometimes, and sometimes it's for the worse. It's not always for the better. And I'm gonna say over time I did adjust to the controls a bit. Like they didn't bother me as much. And I am having fun with it, but I want to go back to the original control scheme, with the D-pad or joystick or whatever. I kind of Funny enough, there's a guy on Reddit I was talking to, and he messaged me. He's like, "Here's a mod that you can make it to where it's like you can use the D-pad." I was half tempted, but for just because I wanted a what do you call it? Uh, I wanted it to be closest as possible to the real thing. You know what I mean? Like to the original experience. I didn't use the mod.
Yeah.
So it's okay. But I'm not gonna sit here and hate on it. I think it grows on you, but it doesn't grow on you like much. It kind of grows on you like cancer or something. It's
Oh,
like
like cancer.
it's
So
sorry for people, the kids, but yeah.
Jesus, man. So there's the two things that really like stick out of my memory from the controls is they used a lot of items that require the microphone, and the
Oh,
DS
dude.
microphone was not good.
Oh, dude. Okay, so I have this throat thing right now and I can't scream. So there's one part in the game where you have to get a boat part from the guy who makes the ships or whatever, the ship parts.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um
I was gonna
and
ask how you if you got to this part and if you did okay.
no, it was horrible. I was sat there trying to do like a tiny scream and then I couldn't do it. Like he was like, "Huh? I can't like you don't want this? I can't hear you. Like you're not saying anything," or
I
whatever he
tapped
says.
this I tapped the side of my DS with my thumbnail repeatedly.
Oh, yeah, so I tried tapping, like, the speaker, I tried blowing into it, I couldn't get anything to work, and so eventually I got this little button I could press that would, like, simulate screaming, and that worked. It that was horrible. I was like, "How do people do this if you know, can't speak?"
Oh,
Like, if you're mute, you can't play this game.
be like, "Oh,
It's
you got
horrible.
asthma? You're not getting through the wind temple."
No. So, like, he'll charge you more money based on like, so even if he does hear you, he'll charge you like more money if you don't scream long enough or loud enough. So,
It's
oh
it's
my gosh.
ridiculous.
It was a
Well, so
ridiculous mechanic.
that's the bad one, and then I will say there's one puzzle, I don't remember what temple it's in, but it says some hint about, like, pressing the 2 slabs together, and you're like, how do I" you're like, you got these numbers, you need to get them, like, on the door, and you just, like, you can't figure out what the heck you're supposed to do, and at some point, you get frustrated, and you, like, close the DS, and you're done for the day, and then you come back, and you open it, and, like, you realize that the top screen transferred to the bottom screen, or
Yes,
vice versa to
dude.
open the door. So
That was a weird one. Yeah.
but, like, I think that's one of the benefits of back when
Yeah.
Nintendo would do these crazy control schemes.
Yes. I honestly, so the fairy, which is cool. So by the way, you get a fairy in this one. So in Wind Waker, you don't have a fairy. This one does have a fairy. So I'm gonna give it kudos for giving you the fairy. Because I like having the fairy ever since I don't know Ocarina. You have the fairy with you, so that was kind of cool to have your fairy back. But she does give a pretty good hint on what you need to do. Like it's like if there's only some way to like swap the tablets, and so if you think about it long enough, like most people will figure it out. Um, the puzzles, but let's continue to talk about the puzzles. Do we? How do you feel about it? You said it was kind of like maybe more straightforward.
Yeah, so I admit, like, the game's a lot easier than most Zelda games, and I played it a long time ago. So, like, it's a little hazy, and it's also very there's not a lot of, like, variation in a lot of the puzzles. Most of them are more like brute memorization. Like, you can draw on the map, which is a really cool feature, but because you can only walk with the touch screen and you can only attack with the touch screen, a lot of the puzzles were either like all the items were used with the touchscreen as well. So like a lot of the puzzles were like with the boomerang, you had to hit torches in a certain order, make like a star
Yeah.
configuration, or you had to like remember certain numbers to then push certain pillars in order. So it was just a lot of like go to this area, go 2 floors down, and then move objects or hit switches in a certain order and then progress.
Yeah, that's kind of been my experience thus far. It's mostly like a notation thing. So you are asked to like make notations like a lot of times. So you switch the screen and then you write on it and you notate like the sequence of the switches. So you'll like notate 1, 2, 3, 4 on the switches, or like the sequence of I don't know, a button you're supposed to press, or it's like a lot of sequence stuff, or and then you're supposed to mark X on the map to kind of like figure out where something is, which is a kind of a cool feature. I don't mind it. It it's not so, and I agree that this game is more straightforward. It's not going to make you think that hard. I don't think. Unlike other Zelda titles.
I would agree with
Is
that. Like
that
it's
yeah.
yeah, I would agree with that. It's very, like I said, it's very like row or brute force memorization based. Because a lot of times I didn't even write down the stuff. I just went okay, up, down, left, right, and then open the door.
Yeah.
Because a lot of
Right.
the codes are like 4 to 6 digits long, and it's like okay, well, I mean, I can walk down a flight of stairs, go through 3 rooms, and then remember 1 through 6 in a certain order. And
Yeah.
that's like a very large chunk of the game.
Yeah, I always wrote it down because I take a lot of breaks with this game. So I might only get like halfway through a temple and then I take a break. So I think I would have been kind of like boned if I didn't. I would have been like so I was happy that they allowed you to do that. And there are some times that they use the stylus like pretty uniquely. So for example, there's an island that's like, okay, you need to like trace the pattern of the island. Like there's a hint to make you trace the pattern of the island. And so
It was
you
shaped like a
do.
dolphin, right?
It's a whale. And
It was
when
a
you
whale. Okay, I remember it was a
yeah,
large fish. Okay,
yeah, and so you end up tracing out a whale after you like run across the whole island, and then it tells you like, oh, the first one is like the steer. The second one is like the where the water comes out. The third one's like it says some like sort of hints like this. I don't exactly remember, but it was very clever, and I thought it was like a good unique use of the tool in my opinion.
I
Um,
agree. I agree. It had its moments. Like that was definitely one of them. Did you make it to the island that was like a giant riddle with all the villagers?
no, I don't think I got that far yet. I don't think so.
Okay.
There's still 2
Well,
tiles I haven't, like, what do you call it? Like, traversed, that they're still, like, in the fog or whatever, or, they haven't opened up yet, you know?
understandable. No, no, that's understandable. I just couldn't remember where
Yeah.
in the game it was. Like I said, it's been a while, and
Yeah.
the
Do you know how
good
many temples
puzzles,
there
the
are?
good puzzles stick out. But what's up?
Do you know how many temples there are in this game?
I want to say like 7 or 8.
Okay, so I'm still probably in the first, like, 40% of the game then. Like,
Well, I mean, you unlock the tiles pretty quickly, and I think there's only a couple temples in each tile. There's
okay.
just the four. It's not so like you should be around 40 to 50% done.
Yeah. Okay.
And then
Well,
speaking of temples, did you want to talk about the ocean-sized elephant in the room, or
oh, the ocean side. That's a good one. Funny one. Dan's got puns. Yes, I do want to talk about the ocean-sized elephant in the room. The Ocean Temple. Yes. Okay. This is the Ocean King. What, Ocean Temple? Not Ocean Temple. It's the Ocean King's Temple. What is it called?
I think it's Temple of the Ocean King.
Okay. Temple of the Ocean King. This is kind of a weird topic because it's a little bit contentious. People don't feel one way. Like not everyone feels the same way. Like how the water temple is with the Ocarina of Time. Like 90% of people hate that. Like with the Ocean Temple, the Temple of the Ocean King, people are like 50-50 on this temple.
Really?
And
I didn't know that there was that many other people that liked it.
yeah, surprise. Well, Reddit told me otherwise. So Reddit likes to correct me when when I have an opinion. So, let me get your opinion on the temple first. Well, first of all, maybe you can explain it to the audience, like what it actually is.
Okay. So like I said, it's been a while since I played it, but it's basically if I remember right, each time you finish a main dungeon, you have to go back to this one. And it's basically just like a very large tower, and each time you can go another floor down. You get sand that goes into the titular Phantom Hourglass, and that allows you to go deeper into the temple before you get like evicted from it from somehow. I forget if like it's magic and you can't exist in there or something along those lines.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know if
But
I've ever been evicted.
basically, you get more time to keep progressing through the thing, and you have to finish the floor below the last time you came. But you have to go through all the floors every time you go there. And it is pretty tedious, but at the same time you get so much better at it. So it's like a weird mini speed run Metroidvania because like the first time you go through you don't have bombs. Theoretically speaking, the second time you go through you get the bombs, so you can like blow holes in the wall and skip puzzles you had to do before, and then do new
Yeah,
puzzles, and then rinse and repeat. And the goal is to get quicker, faster, and better at it. But a lot of people don't like that concept.
yeah. But you're saying you do. You like it, right?
I enjoyed it. I think that was probably my one of my favorite things about the game, aside from, like I said before, the story's the best part, in my opinion. But aside from the story and like one or two off puzzles, I did really like this temple. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there was a lot of people who agreed with you on Reddit. They said that the fact that you could go to the same place and traverse the temple in different ways was like really good temple design is was their argument. Um Now, as you can tell, I am the other camp. I wasn't a huge fan of the concept of having to revisit this temple, mostly because it wasn't like when I revisited the temple or like when I visited it the first time, I could tell what the other routes were. They weren't like secret cool routes, but I could tell like if I had this item, I could go through like the wall. If I had, the arrow, I could hit this eyeball. If I had the boomerang or whatever, whatever it is, I could do this thing. Now it is kind of cool. I almost wish it was not so frequent. Like I don't want to return to the temple like after every temple or every other temple. Like I don't mind revisiting it and seeing the new routes, but I don't want to do it that often. You know what I mean?
For sure. I didn't really start if I remember right, I found the first few floors pretty tedious, but like once you get further down, it gets a lot more interesting because the game's a little harder towards the end of the game. I'm not gonna, you know, sugarcoat it. A little does mean a little, not a lot, but
Yeah.
it still helped when you were started like bypassing routes of multiple like the phantom guys walking around trying to grab you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you could actually start like you got to do the little like in the moment gamble thing. You're like, can I get past them without getting booted and having to do most of this over again? And
Yeah.
start shaving time off your clock in order to get further down.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you get booted, it's like you're redoing the temple. That's another thing that's like pretty brutal. I mean, I haven't got booted, but I was close. I was like probably 30 seconds off before I almost got booted, or like 15 seconds.
I
So,
I
huh?
think it's one of the only modern day Zelda games that still do that. I think the second newest would have been like Ocarina, right?
For the timer boots,
Just having
maybe.
some type of booting mechanic. Like there's the hands in the NES game, a couple of the Game Boy games, and the N64
Uh,
games. So
yeah, the
like
hands like in the forest temple and
post
stuff.
Wind Waker, there's like nothing like that that just says, "Oh, you're almost at the end of the dungeon, back to start."
Yeah. I do agree that like for especially for the hands, like it increases the scariness of the game. Like it increases the spookiness of the forest temple. But honestly, dude, I could do without the hands. Like get rid of like make them scary still, but I don't want to go back to the same like the beginning of the dungeon. Please no.
Well, I think
I don't like
it's a
that.
mechanical fear. It's like
It
a lot of the
is.
Resident Evil games work in a similar manner. It's like, "Oh, I missed it, and now I'm out of ammo. Crap."
Yeah. It's like you're the fear of wasting my time is what you're like, no, I need that time. Um,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. It's so I think it is cool, like the idea of the Ocean King Temple. I think it's like very interesting, that it's like, okay, I can now explore this temple in new and unique ways. I think that is a really cool mechanic. And I think maybe if it was either A, optional, or B, just less frequent, I think those two things would fix my complaint. I'm pretty sure, because I think it is a cool concept conceptually. So
I I agree.
yeah.
I think they either need to make it less frequent or, in my opinion, just harder. But I have that issue with the whole game, and that's why I haven't gone back to play Spirit Tracks yet.
Right, right. Um, yeah, so you know what? You kind of mentioned the characters of the game earlier. You kind of like highlighted that you liked the characters. What did you like about these characters?
I mean, it's still the same Link from Wind Waker, so he's very expressive. He's got a very good sense of humor. Like, just the artwork style is good. I mean, it's a DS game, so it looks a little rough with the capital R. It was basically a portable N64, but it was unique. And again, it still kept all that like cartoonish inspiration from Wind Waker. It's like the fact they even got that to work on this hardware is kind of interesting in and of itself. But it's still
Yeah,
super. He's still super expressive. So like when they do like the similar sense of humor with like things exploding next to him, he does like the chibi art style faces. Like it's just a cool aesthetic. And
yeah,
without getting into spoilers on the characters, there's just a lot of really cool characters in the game that actually have like character progressions.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and then again, my big thing was that they respected the breaking of the cycles from the last one. So you have like all new characters. It's not just like, oh hey, here's the new version of some reincarnated king, or here's the new version of the evil king, and here's the new version of like it's all new inspirations and new stories, which I think is cool because that's a rarity
yeah.
for a Zelda game.
Did you like so did you one of the main characters is a captain. His name is like what's his name? Captain
Linebeck.
uh Linebeck. Do you like him?
I enjoyed him. I like his arc. He's basically like Groose from Skyward Sword, just a little bit worse of a person at the beginning.
He yeah, he's kind of a POS a little bit. But not like a lot of it. He's just he's ungrateful. So you save him in the beginning and he like doesn't care and he's like, "Oh, I could have done it myself," or whatever. And then you kind of ask him to use his boat, but he is kind enough with enough convincing to use the boat, And so you travel around the map with Linebeck, and Linebeck's always there to like take you places. I think he's a fine character. I think he's kind of funny. And he's the typical egotistical, like a little bit narcissistic but also kind character. I like him. I think he's fine and I think he's funny. I also like a lot of the characters in this game. I think they are funny. I think it takes akin to the Wind Waker, like you said. Like it's very good at taking the Wind Waker vibe and kind of putting it into this DS handheld game.
I would agree. Did you get to the part where you meet Linebeck's ex-girlfriend?
I haven't. No, I didn't. I that's is that. I bet that's gonna be hilarious.
It's like a reoccurring joke towards like the second half of the game, but yeah, it's great. He like hides in a barrel, and you're like
Nice.
fending off another pirate ship as he's like hiding in a barrel in the basement.
That's awesome. Um, it's just like the rest of the story just becomes hiding from Linebeck's ex. That's like the whole rest of the game.
It's not the whole
Um,
rest of the game. It's just like it's just like a little mini boss that reoccurs a couple times. It's entertaining,
yeah.
but
I mean, I don't,
it's
maybe
just that Wind Waker esque hokiness. Like you have a character hiding in a barrel. Like you don't get that in
yeah.
Twilight Princess.
No, yeah, no. Twilight's the opposite vibe. Same with Majora's Mask. It's like the total opposite vibe. You do get some goofy characters in Majora, but not too many. And same with Twilight, but not this is like way more silly, like silly Billy type of game,
Cartoonish.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cartoonish and they lighten it up and it's not real dark. It's really pretty light themes like Wind Waker and the graphics are almost identical. I mean, Wind Waker's graphics are better naturally because it's a GameCube game, but not by like a lot. They're pretty similar in a lot of ways, I think.
It's like
So,
the best way I think about him is like an N64 style demake of Wind Waker. Because it is chunky with capital CH, but it also has some pixel art sprinkled in.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Um,
it's like someone took the Mario 64 filter and threw it at Wind Waker.
yeah. It looks good for the DS game, I think. That's kind of like where I'm at. Like, it's not bad. Obviously, Wind Waker HD, is way better than this. Like, HD Wind Waker is like pretty nice looking game. Um, even the original GameCube game's great. So let's talk about the sailing part because that's like a big part of the game. How do you feel about the sailing in this game?
I did not care for the sailing whatsoever, and the sailing and the lack of difficulty in the dungeons are the two main reasons I have not attempted to go play Spirit Tracks yet, just because I find it very tedious. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel. It sounds so freeform in concept. Like I take the stylus and I trace wherever I want to go in this boat. So like you have for the freedom of movement from Wind Waker with a more like carted out course. Then you have to like fight guys on the way. But after like 10 minutes, you realize that you're just like watching a cutscene basically and then shooting a cannonball on occasion.
Yeah. So the sailing in this game starts out pretty it's pretty like it starts out where you just draw the line and the boat goes where you want it to go. So if you want to draw it in circles, it will go in circles. If you want it to draw it in a beeline towards the island, it will go that way, which is like okay, whatever. It's kind of boring, but it's like you said, you put on a cinematic. Later down the road, you get a cannon and they start adding enemies. And you're like, okay, so you start shooting at the enemies on the screen and they want to make it more interactive. And then later on, you find an enemy that you have to like jump over. And so you jump over the enemy, but it kind of becomes rinse and repeat. Like it's like kind of the same thing over and over. And I got to the point where I was like, I just wish that it would go back to me drawing a line. I don't have to pay attention. And then I can look back and then it's like at my destination. Um like either give me that or give me a game that's like really interactive and fun to like actually sail in. That's kind of where I fell. Like, don't give me the in between. Like, what is this? What am I doing here? Is it autopilot or not? Like, what are we doing?
I completely agree, and I think that is like the story of how I feel about the whole game because it has such great ideas and the execution is a little repetitive and a little gimmicky.
Yeah.
I like
Um.
so many like the dungeon layouts, the temple, the sailing, it always has like that same repetitive.
I think you cut out. You said same repetitive what?
Oh, it's just like that same repetitive rinse and repeat cycle.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, it is. It is, and especially the sailing. Especially, I mean, even the combat. The combat is like pretty much the same. One thing I will say though, with no, before I get into that, how do you feel about the arm thing? Like the what do you call it? The thing that grabs stuff at the bottom of the ocean?
I thought that was okay. I mean, I'm just a sucker for like arcade style claw machines, so I thought that was all right.
That's essentially what it is. It turns into a little mini game where you like dodge mines or whatever and walls, and like you just get to the bottom and it grabs it, and then you dodge it on the way up. Um, Not a big fan. It's okay, like it's fine. Uh, I kind of wish it was like Wind Waker's claw, where it, like just kind of went down. You got your stuff, and it like went back up.
No,
I don't really
I get
want to
that.
play like if I want to play the mini game, I want to go to a shop. You know how like you go into like a shopkeeper and like they have mini games. Like I would have
Yeah,
played it there.
I wish it wasn't as frequent. Like I don't mind the mini
Yeah,
game. I hate the fact that you do it like what is it like 16 times?
yeah. You do it enough to where you don't want to do it again. I think
Yeah,
is kind of my.
yeah.
It's like okay, I got it. Like I'm putting the anchor down and I'm grabbing stuff from the and this game just kind of suffers from that so far. Like as far as I've played it, this game has totally suffered from doing too much of the same thing.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
you know, it not that any of that stuff is inherently bad. It's just like you don't want to, when you're playing a Zelda game, you don't want to play the mini games the whole game. You want to like play the Zelda actiony part of the game, and then like you play the mini games on the side. So
No, and I completely agree. It's like the
yeah,
sailing. They took like the main means of traversal and they made it similar to like an arcade mini game.
that's really what it is. And they're trying new stuff, and I get it. But I don't think it's doing this game justice. Now as far as the combat, I kind of wanted to get into that because the combat is pretty repetitive, but I do want to say like one of the cool things about the combat was the boomerang. I thought that was like sick, actually. Do
The boomerang is
you
cool.
remember the
If
boomerang?
not, it's so OP.
Yeah, yeah,
'Cause you can you can trace patterns onto the screen like with everything else in the game, so it just follows where you trace. And you use that
yeah,
to solve like puzzles with lighting certain torches or
yeah.
putting the torches out. I digress.
I think it was lighting them. Yeah, you like grab the fire and then like you light up the other torches with the fire.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, it's so good. So I thought like it was going to be like a simple boomerang mechanic where you kind of throw it out, kind of comes back. No, you can draw like complex pattern. Like literally, you could draw like pretty much anything you want, and the boomerang will just go like all through your pattern and like do this crazy stuff. It's awesome. Like it's a lot of fun.
It's very
Little
jarring if you've played a lot of the other Zelda games and you're like, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. The boomerang's good in this one?
yeah, it's
Because
actually
like most
so
2D
good.
Zelda games, it just throws like 3 feet in front of you and comes back and doesn't even do any damage to anything. And then
Yeah.
like some of the 3D ones, it's like, okay, where's the boss that I need to kill with this? And then I never touch it again.
Right. Yeah, no, it was great. Great item. It kind of I feel like they shouldn't have put the arrow in this game, the bow and arrow, because the boomerang is just a more fun version of that. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that. I think they use
Yeah.
some more complex puzzles for the arrows like later in the game, but it's not anything more complex than oh, you can't see the target to hit it with the boomerang on your screen.
Yeah.
Just like
The
shooting
only
across a larger gap.
the only puzzles I've seen with the arrow so far is like you hit this object with the boomerang to make it spin, and then if you hit it with the arrow, and then that will make another arrow go in a certain direction. Is like the one I've experienced.
I forgot about that one.
Um, but I will say so. Let's go into the bosses. Do you remember the bosses in this game?
I remember really enjoying the final boss, but I don't remember why. It's like I said, it's been a while, and with how simplistic a lot of the combat is, it does kind of fade into the memory banks pretty quick.
Yes, I don't. So I've recently played this game, Dan, and I cannot remember the first like two bosses or three bosses. I cannot remember what they were. But I do remember the most recent boss I did because it was actually really cool design, and I was surprised to see it. It's so there's like a crab boss or a scorpion. I think he's a scorpion. And or no, he's a crab. He's like a hermit crab of some sort. I don't know. But what it does is like on the top screen you got or the bottom screen you got your normal like you're running around and you're trying to like maneuver, like the normal stuff that you do. But on the top screen it had the camera of the boss's point of view. And the reason it had the boss's point of view is because it was invisible. So you could see the boss like looking at you and like chasing you and pursuing you across the map. Do you remember this?
I do not, but that sounds very interesting, and that sounds like because I remember a lot of the boss fights were extremely orientated around the two screens.
Yeah.
Like I said,
This one
it's been a while. I don't have the sharpest memory for something from like that long ago, where the like the intricacies were not very complicated.
yeah.
But I do remember
I
it
mean
had a lot of like chasing up and down the two different screens.
yeah, totally. This one was the only one that stuck out to me. I don't even remember the first couple. But this one was like, oh, because it kind of sets in a little bit of like not panic, but kind of like anxiety. It's like, oh, like I could see this thing like trying to kill me, and if I don't hit it with the arrow quick enough, it's gonna kill me.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of like a horror movie. And so I thought that was kind of cool. Now, the other bosses, yeah, I don't know. So far it's been the most forgettable bosses I probably I can't remember them. I don't know. I just can't. And there's this same with Zelda's Oracle of Seasons and Ages. I don't remember all the bosses there either, but
Oh, for sure. I mean, I sing Age's praises till like the end of time. Time. But I don't remember most of the bosses in that one. It's one of my favorite
yeah,
Zelda games, but like they're not mechanically and like deep. Because
yeah,
they're not
yeah,
mechanically deep, they fade away pretty quick.
yeah, exactly. Um, so yeah, the bosses are pretty mid so far, I would say. Is there any more like items that you thought were interesting? I mean, I've gotten the shovel. I've gotten the arrow. I've gotten the bombs. You know, there's
Did you get the
I've
grappling hook yet?
not yet. I've seen the spots for it though. I'm kind of waiting. Is it fun? Or is it just like you point and click and
So you can't actually grapple onto things with it. You make like launch pads or tight ropes with it.
oh,
So it's not like
that's
Wind Waker. It's kind of weird. It's kind of cool. I don't know if I don't want to like make it sound overrated because it's not like the greatest thing ever, but it is
yeah.
kind of cool that instead of like grappling over the ledge, you're like, I'm gonna make a tightrope, or you'll like. I think it's in the Ice Temple. You do a lot of like bouncing from platform to platform by using it like a spring or like shooting arrows at it.
Oh, okay. I'm interested. You piqued my interest a little bit. Because the grappling hook in Wind Waker was like my least favorite item, probably in the whole game. I hated that thing. Um, because it was so slow. Now I liked the hook shot. Like you got the hook shot later on in Wind Waker. I thought that was because it's quick. It's like you hook it and you're like boom. The grapple. I know this isn't about Wind Waker, but the grappling hook in Wind Waker is like you like hooked on it and then like you just kind of like swung back and forth. Like it was like really slow. Um, I know. It's probably a bad opinion. I get that it's unpopular probably, but I didn't like the grappling hook.
I mean,
Um,
aside from the one boss in Wind Waker, it was kind of a eh. It's like a boomerang
yeah,
in Zelda games. You're like it's like an early item, and you just know that things are gonna get. It's like a gimped version of a good item you're gonna get later.
yeah, exactly. That's what it was. It was a gimped version of the hook shot, and you're like, okay, well, um, yeah. So what else? We got the items, characters, the music. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what
The
I've
the
noticed
one
about this
song.
game. Yeah, yeah, exactly. What I've noticed about this game is that it's like the same song, like 3 songs over and over and over in this game.
Yeah,
And I'm assuming that's due to memory bandwidth, like they probably didn't have a lot of memory space, storage to put like, music on this game, but it's really, really, really repetitive. Every dungeon has the same song, every island like has the same song. You're like,
can
"What
I
is going on?"
can I push back on the it's a specs issue point?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Link's Awakening has how many songs? Oracle of Seasons and Ages have how many songs? Like
I
Game
know.
Boy Advance games have how many songs? Even on
I
the DS, like you got like the Mega Man Zero games or ZX games have like how many songs?
I haven't played ZX. Honestly, I haven't played that many DS games, but so maybe you're right. I was thinking to myself like, oh, maybe because the 3D graphics, like it took up a lot of space and like they just couldn't do it. And to
I
be
think they
honest, the
just
game is pretty big for a DS game in my opinion. But still, like maybe you could have gotten rid of a couple of pots in the game to add another track or something. I don't know.
yeah, again, I don't know off the top of my head, but I know I want to say DS games are around like 30 megabytes, which like doesn't
Yeah.
sound like a lot, but like I mean, Game Boy Advance games were like 4. So
Yeah,
like
30
there,
megabytes
there there's
is
there's
yeah.
room for a couple songs in there, you know? Like they don't need to be symphonies. Like it's not Skyward Sword with an orchestral soundtrack, but you could have gotten 5 or 6 chip tunes on there. Mario World
Yeah.
on the or sorry, Mario Land on the Game Boy Color got like 8 or 9 musical songs in, which on a game
Yeah.
that has like 2 megabytes.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Maybe it was the quality of the music was too high and they thought it had to be this high. But honestly, you could have thrown some MIDI tracks in there and we would have been happy. It was yeah, it's so repetitive, man. It's like I I thought like it was just gonna be like a couple of dungeons. Nope, it's all the same. All the dungeons are exactly the same. Anytime
Even
you're
the
in an
special
area where
dungeon.
you fight anything, huh?
Even the special dungeon. Like the titular or not titular, but the one that used the Phantom Hourglass in the Temple of the Ocean King. It's the same song.
It's the
It's the
same
same song
song.
in there. It's the same song in the caves. It's the same song in everything.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah, bad. The music is not good in this game. Besides maybe the ocean track, which I think is exactly the same track from Wind Waker. Is that right?
I believe so. I could be wrong, but I believe you're right.
Like when you're sailing, it's like the do like the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with the music. So the music is definitely giving it negative kudos in this particular instance. Sheesh. Anything
Which is
else?
interesting because like the sound design is pretty solid for a handheld game. Like maybe they took up the
Yeah,
space with that because there's a lot of really good sound effects. It's just
there
that the
is good.
actual music is bad.
Yeah. They brought back those was those things in Wind Waker? I think they might have been. The little squiggly guys, the ones that they look like little dewdrops, the enemies.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're like chews or something like that. They make like the jam.
Yeah, the first time I saw them was in what's it called? The Minish Cap because I played Minish Cap first, I think.
Oh, I forgot they're in
Uh
Minish Cap. Yeah, like the giant one.
yeah, like the first dungeon or whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um so with all of that, am I invested in the game? Am I bored? Am I curious enough to continue? Before we answer that, is there anything else we missed? Like, as far as I'm up to, obviously, we're going to do another episode and talk about more stuff. But as far as I've gotten in the game, is there kind of like any important parts that I missed?
I mean, I don't think so. Like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I think it's an interesting game, but like if you're not feeling it and you've already gotten half the map unlocked, you probably don't need to finish it.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
I've
So,
heard really good things about its sequel, but as someone that finished the first one, I haven't gone back to play the sequel yet, and I finished this game like a decade ago.
yeah. Yeah.
It's
So, this is what I'm going to say. I think there's obviously me and you have kind of said there's a lot of bad things about this game. Like truly, at least first impressions wise, there's a lot of bad games, and I've played multiple hours. Like I'm probably like I don't know how many hours, maybe 12 hours into this game, maybe more, 15. Um, there's not like there's a lot of bad for sure. The and I think the most glaring one is the mechanics, like the way you move your character is probably the most glaring issue in the game. Now, is it good enough for me to continue? I'm actually gonna say it is. Like it as much as I've complained about this game, like the Temple of the Ocean King, the music, all this stuff, I'm still ironically having fun with it. And I think that's because it's a Zelda game. So like the funny thing with Zelda games is like even a bad Zelda game is still a Zelda game. Do you know what I
it's
mean?
like it's like pizza. Even when it's not that great, it's still pretty good.
Yeah, like this is like a cheese pizza. It's like the most basic pizza, but it's still pizza. Like I'm not like hating it. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll eat it, you know? Um yeah, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to play it. I am kind of excited to see some of the other items and the way they interact. And I think I'm having fun. At this point in time, if I had to give it a number like on a 1 to 10 scale, I'd probably give it like a I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 6. I think it's okay.
Okay. I probably would give it
Like,
like a 6 or a 7. It's like
yeah.
because it's a good game. It's just it's repetitive, I think is its biggest problem. And
Mhm.
like I can get behind weird control schemes. I think that's something that we kind of lost in like modern day where everything is an Xbox or a PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
But like so like I'm okay with weird little gimmick games. I think they're kind of cool. I don't mind weird control schemes, especially if the games are built around them. It's just the game it's a little tedious. I just wish it had more complex puzzles or combat or traversal. So like
Yeah.
I probably should go back and play its sequel. A lot of people say that one's a lot better with everything I just listed. I just, I finished that one and then I wanted to move on to something different.
I've heard the sequel is better too. I've also heard the same sentiment. So, I'm kind of interested in trying the sequel. Do you know how much longer like after this game came out the sequel came out by chance?
But I think only a couple years
Okay. So,
because
well, okay.
the 3DS came out in like 2011.
Yeah. So, I
So
think
that would
maybe
have
that's
had to
enough
have
time.
it should have yeah. So I want to say this came out or they would have had to come out like when did this one come out? This was like '05 or '06, right?
Yeah,
The
I
first
should have
one?
brought that up. I should have brought the wiki up. I want to say it was like uh
Uh,
oh 06. Like when did the DS come out?
like '05
Oh
or '06, I think.
no, I think the DS actually came out like '04. Because I think I was in middle school when it came out. I think I had some friends who had it. They had the
I'm in a
WarioWare game.
similar ballpark because that's why my memory's a little fuzzy on it. Because I remember I kept my Game Boy for a long time, so I really liked my Advance. I had like the Micro.
Okay. Nice.
So looking it up, Spirit Tracks came out in '09.
Okay. This was '07. This was '07. So
Wow. Yeah,
so
so like that checks out then. Then it probably explains
yeah.
some of the shortcomings too, with like the music and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Earlier DS titles definitely suffered a little bit. I think in the 3DS era, they really nailed the like what those games were supposed to be, because there's
Oh,
just so
dude,
many great 3DS titles.
I love my 3DS. I just don't ever play it because it's a really small screen.
Ah, yeah, the screens. Yeah, that's probably the only issue, but like they are, it's got like the Zelda remake, it's got the Soul Silver, I think, on it. It has like what else? They did like a Mario remake too, like a Donkey Kong. I don't know what they did. They did a bunch of
Oh,
stuff.
dude, they did
But
a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah.
And I think the best 3DS game, in my opinion, at least because it's still trapped there, like original exclusives, is the reimagining of Kid Icarus. We got like a new Kid Icarus game by the guy that makes Smash Bros, and it was amazing. And it's stuck on that four sad console from like 15 years ago.
It was a good game.
Oh, dude, it was a great game. It has a really weird control scheme, but it was a really good game. It's
Yeah.
quippy. Before that became like a nauseating, overdone thing in the industry. It's like legitimately funny quips too, and it's all
Yeah.
like Greek mythology. So like that's kind of cool.
I
And
don't
it's
mind
like
quippy games as long as it's done well, not cheesy.
right.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to get off. I don't want to get off track. That's a side fractal.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, there you have it. I will definitely continue. I'm kind of interested, like I almost want to like ask you to like play Spirit Tracks because when I do cover it, like I want to see like
I can do that.
your opinion on it. Like
I can do
it
that.
like yeah, if you're like, "Oh, this was a much better game," or if you're like, "This is the same the same game." What if we play Spirit Tracks and it just has the same music in the game?
Oh
It's
God,
like
no, no!
it's like
Don't jinx it.
exactly the same soundtracks. Oh
Don't
man.
jinx it like that. It might be too.
Yeah, they might. They might bring it back. But yeah, no, so definitely 100% worth continuing the game. I need to come up with some like quippier slogans for it's like first impressions cuz I have like should you reload it or not in the normal episodes and this I'm like, do I continue the game? Like come on. There's got to be a quippier way to say that, but it's a first impressions episode, so,
No, that's
that's fine.
fair. Honestly, I'm surprised you got like halfway through the game for first impressions.
Yeah, well, I was playing it and I was like, "How long is this game?" And I was like, "Maybe I should like," that's when I kind of had the idea. I was like, "Okay, maybe I need to do like a first impressions and then I'll do the later episode because
You got tired
because
of sailing and went, shoot, do I need to finish this? Let's make an episode about it.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the sailing sucks, but there's one cool part. Real quick is I like the part where you go through the fog. I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh,
Like,
that is cool.
yeah.
And the only other dungeon that like screams out to me later is the infamous ghost ship does come back into this game as well.
Okay. Yeah.
One that was in Wind Waker. I don't know if it's the exact same ghost ship, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, I wonder. That's what I was wondering. I was like, is this the same one from Wind Waker? Like, did it just like come back or something? I don't know. But yeah, there you have
Pretty
it.
cool.
Again, where can people find you online, Dan?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook, I have an Instagram, and I have a website, controllerwipes.com. And yeah, like I said, use the discount code reloaded10 and you get 10% off your order, and then Lance gets some of the proceeds.
Some thanks, Dan. I appreciate you. Thanks for always being a great guest. You're always very welcome to the show. So
I appreciate it, and I guess I'm playing Spirit Tracks sometime soon.
yeah, put it on the the list. I don't know what you're playing right now. I know you were doing a Resident Evil thing for a long time, so you played like all the Resident Evils. Did you play them all?
Yeah,
Like all of them?
I'm close to it. I'm currently in the mines for RE4 remake, and then I
Okay.
just had Requiem and a couple spin-off games after that. Like I've beaten all the main lines on original consoles all the way up.
Nice, nice. And so, as far as the Resident, I mean, I don't know if I should go into the episode, but I am a little curious. Like, how do you feel about the series so far? Like, maybe a summarized version of it.
Summarized version of it, as someone that's
Yeah,
never played them before January this year, I really like them. I think they're super cool. It's my first major bout with survival horror. And
yeah,
with long running franchises like this or like Zelda, Metroid, etc., I really Castlevania, especially Castlevania. I love seeing how different developers make all these games differently with different art
yeah,
styles, different gameplay mechanics, etc., etc. Kind of
yeah.
paints like a artistic mosaic of the same thing with different clothing.
I kind of would have if you made like a YouTube series of like you playing these for the first time. I think I would have watched it, like just to see your reaction to the series because I was so young when I first played these. The Resident Evils. So
Interesting.
yeah.
I never thought about it. I've always enjoyed watching other people's YouTube series, but I've never thought about like trying to make my own.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole thing, it's like you gotta, like, record and then, you gotta, like, put it up and I don't know. It's not, like, a huge if you're not doing any editing, it's not so bad, but, anyways, thank you again. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me back on, man.